When I told her that her flirting made me uncomfortable, she responded that the door was open if I didn't like it. So I left, and it wasn't until she came back to an empty house that she realized everything she'd lost. It all started the night I went with my partner to a coworker's birthday party. At 30, I'd been the perfect boyfriend. I drove us to the venue, paid for the first round of drinks, and stayed by her side the whole time. But none of that seemed to matter when, for the third time that night, I saw her leaning over the bar, touching the bartender's arm while laughing at something he'd said. Her hand lingered a second too long. It was the same smile she'd used with me at the start of our relationship. Now she was giving it to a stranger. When she returned to our table, I tried to stay calm. "Can we talk for a second?" I said, not taking my eyes off the bartender. "About what?" she asked. "About the flirting. It's making me uncomfortable." She raised an eyebrow, her tone mocking. "Flirting? I'm being friendly, that's all." "You touched his arm 3 times. You fixed your hair. You did that laugh." "The laugh," she said, seriously, Ivan. "The same one you did on our first date. The one you do when you're really interested in someone." She rolled her eyes so hard I thought they'd pop out. "You're being insecure, and it's not attractive." "I'm being honest about my boundaries." She let out a dramatic sigh. "God, you're exhausting. I can't even be nice without you making it a problem." "There's a difference between being nice and flirting, and you know it." She stood up, grabbed her drink, and shot me a withering look. "You know what? If you're so upset, the door's right there. Nobody's forcing you to stay." "That's all you've got to say." "What do you want me to say? Sorry for having a personality, for not being a hermit like you." "I just asked you to stop flirting with other guys. And I'm telling you, if you don't like who I am, use the damn door or shut up about it." Her tone was so dismissive that, for a moment, I felt like my feelings were a burden to her. I smiled, resigned. "Thanks for the reminder." "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. Enjoy the party." I left cash for my tab on the table and walked out. She didn't follow. She probably didn't even notice I was gone until 20 minutes later. I drove back to the apartment, my apartment. She moved in 8 months ago, but we never got around to adding her to the lease. In fact, her mail still went to her mom's house. When I got home, I sat on the couch and looked around. My furniture, my books, my TV, my appliances. All she'd contributed were decorative pillows, scented candles, that awful live, laugh, love sign, and a constant feeling that I should be grateful she'd chosen me. My phone buzzed, a text from her. "You actually left, so dramatic, whatever, Bruno's giving me a ride home." Bruno, the bartender, of course. And in that moment, I made my decision. She was right, the door was there, and it was time to use it, but not the way she imagined. I started with the essentials. Our shared Netflix account. I changed the password. The electric bill, which was never in her name. I scheduled disconnection in 30 days. The internet she needed for her remote job, same deal. I went to the bedroom, grabbed my suitcase. Natalia thought she had me all figured out. The quiet, dependable guy who'd never leave because where would I go? What she didn't know was that I'd gotten a promotion last month, one I hadn't mentioned because I knew she'd complain about me working more. She also didn't know the company offered corporate housing for employees relocating. I packed calmly, clothes for a week, toiletries, laptop, important documents, everything essential. I wrote a note and left it on the kitchen counter. "You were right, the door was there, I used it. Rent paid through the end of the month. After that, it's your problem. Or Bruno, good luck." I booked a hotel room, nice one, on the corporate card. Why not? I'd saved the company thousands by not using the relocation budget. I turned off my phone and slept better than I had in months. I knew the drama would come the next day, but that night I chose peace. Update. 3 days later, I turned my phone back on Monday morning. 73 missed calls, 149 texts, 28 voicemails. The progression was predictable. Saturday night, "Babe, you seriously left. Bruno dropped me off, but your car's not here. This is about earlier. You're acting like a child. Fine, do what you want." Sunday morning, "Where's your stuff? Is this a joke? Ivan, I found your ridiculous note. Seriously, all this over a conversation." Sunday afternoon, "You changed the Netflix password. That's so petty, my show premieres today. Ivan, please come home. We need to talk. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. The apartment feels so weird without you." That was the first thing I got from Natalia after I left. By Monday morning, the internet company called her. "You're canceling the service. I work from home. You can't do this. This is abuse. I'm calling your mom." And she did, but it didn't go as she expected. My mom called me, laughing. "Natalia says you abandoned her," she said. "I moved out. She told me if I wasn't happy, I could use the door." "Good, I never liked how she talked to you." You never said anything. Because you weren't ready to hear it, are you okay? Yeah, I'm in corporate housing for now. Do you need anything? Just your support like always. Oh, and tell Natalia to delete my number. God, I love my mom, but Natalia didn't stop there. She started reaching out to my friends. First was David, one of my best friends. Yo, Natalia won't stop texting me, says you've lost it. I just left, she told me to go, and I was unhappy. About time, man, she treated you like furniture. Furniture, yeah, useful but not valuable enough to respect. That stuck with me. Everyone had noticed, they just hadn't said anything before. By Wednesday, things escalated. Natalia found out I was staying in temporary company housing. She showed up at my office. The receptionist called. Mr. Ortega, there's a woman here. Says it's urgent. Her name's Natalia. Please tell her all communication should be via email. If she refuses to leave, call security. I peeked out my office window and watched her make a scene at the entrance. Security had to escort her out. In the process, she kicked the glass door on her way out. That same afternoon, HR called me. We had an incident with a woman claiming to be your girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, she's not handling the breakup well. She said you stole shared property. I took my stuff from my apartment. She's upset because I'm not paying her bills anymore. Understood, we'll add her to the security watch list. Let us know if you need anything. One perk of corporate housing was they took threats seriously, but the best part came Thursday night. Natalia made a strategic error. She posted a long rant on social media about narcissistic exes who abandon their partners, tagging me. She included carefully cropped screenshots of our texts, omitting her crueler ones. Her friends piled on, men are trash, you deserve better, who leaves over a communication issue. Then someone unexpected chimed in, Bruno, the bartender. Wait, this is the guy who left the bar Friday. You said he was controlling and you dumped him. Now you want him back. Silence in the comments. Then, Natalia, didn't you go home with Bruno that night? You told me you were single when you flirted with my brother. Hold up, last week you said you were going to break up with him. The post vanished within an hour, but the screenshots lived on. David sent me the whole thread. Turns out, Natalia had been telling everyone we were basically over for weeks, testing the waters, looking for options. Bruno thought he was her rebound, but when he realized he was the cause of the drama, he ghosted her. Meanwhile, I signed a lease for a new apartment, small but mine. No live, laugh, love signs, no criticism disguised as advice, no walking on eggshells in my own home. The silence was beautiful. 2 weeks later, things started unraveling for her, and I watched from a distance. The first week, she tried love bombing. She showed up at the building with flowers. Security didn't let her in. She left a bouquet with a note. I choose you, come home. I tossed it in the dumpster on my way to work. The second week, she switched to practical desperation. The bills started coming. They're going to cut off my power, she emailed. This is your apartment. It was my apartment. You've been living there rent-free for 8 months. Time to take responsibility. I can't afford it alone. Then move out. You know I'm between jobs. You said at the party how well you were doing. It's freelance. This month's been slow. Still not my problem. Then came the attempt to manipulate through mutual friends. She posted that she'd soon be homeless because her ex left her with nothing. David replied instantly, nothing, and the 8 months of free rent, utilities, internet, and streaming subscriptions. Her story crumbled. Finally, the lowest point, Instagram posts of apartment tour. Excited for this new chapter, she wrote. The reality was different. They were all out of her budget, and the comments made it clear. Such a gorgeous place, rent must be insane. $3,000 a month, get that money, queen. But dreams don't pay rent, and her supposed thriving freelance graphic design work, which she claimed kept her so busy, was barely pulling in $600 a month. For a long time, Natalia lived entirely off me while presenting herself to the world as an independent, self-made entrepreneur. That image fully collapsed one night when she drunk texted me from a friend's couch. Who ruined my life? I had everything under control. Ivan doesn't even talk to me anymore. Neither does Samuel or Esteban. Everyone thinks I'm a freeloader. This is our fault. I gave you the best years of my life. You were nobody before me. And then, unfiltered, you told me if I wasn't happy to use the door, so I did, as if it were an accusation. I didn't think you'd actually leave, she added, closing with a confession not meant to slip out. You never fought back, that's why I picked you. There it was, in words, the truth she'd never said. Screenshot saved, not for revenge, but to remind me whenever I doubted my decision. Final update. A month later, the apartment situation resolved itself in a way that felt like karma. Natalia couldn't pay the rent. She tried to get her mom to Kasin for a cheaper place, but she refused. Apparently, I wasn't the only one tired of propping her up. She had to move in with a friend, Sophia, the same Sophia Natalia had mocked for still sharing an apartment at 28. The same Sophia with strict house rules. No overnight guests, no loud music, no working in common areas, everything split evenly. Natalia lasted 2 weeks. That's when Sophia messaged me. She's always been like this. I asked, like what? She told me. She expected me to buy groceries because she forgot her wallet 3 times. She brought Bruno over after I said no guests. She used my skincare products without asking. It all sounded too familiar. I'm giving her 30 days to leave, Sophia said. Just a heads up in case she contacts you. And she did. One last desperate message. I need to talk to you in person, please. I said no. I'm literally homeless because of you, she wrote. I clarified. You're facing the consequences of your choices. I just want to see you once. I have something important to say. Against my better judgment, I agreed. A public place, a coffee shop, 15 minutes, no more. She showed up unrecognizable. The curated Instagram look was gone, no designer clothes, no fresh manicure. The reality check was evident. You look good, she said. Thanks, what did you want to say? I get it now, what I lost. What you lost because of me. The apartment felt empty without your stuff. It echoed. I never realized how much of that place was you. It was always me. I know that now, she paused. Would you consider? No, I cut her off. You don't need to finish. The answer's no. She looked down at her coffee. Bruno said I used him to make you jealous, but you didn't even care. You just left when you disconnected. When you told me to use the door if I wasn't happy, I realized you were right. The door was there. I'd just been too scared to walk through it. I didn't mind it. You did, you just thought I'd never leave. That's why you felt entitled to treat me like I was a nuisance. She went quiet for a moment, then broke down crying, not loudly, just quiet tears. I have to move back to my parents at 28. That's rough. They're charging me rent. They're making me get a real job. Mom says I need to learn responsibility. Sounds fair. Are you happy without me? She asked. I thought about my new apartment, small but peaceful, the promotion I could finally enjoy without distractions, the friends who started inviting me out again because I wasn't tied to Natalia's moods, the matches on the dating app I hadn't fully explored yet, the freedom, the peace. Yeah, I said, I'm happy. She left without another word. 3 months later, I heard through mutual friends that she's working at a retail store, living with her parents. No more stories pretending to be a thriving entrepreneur. No more flirting with bartenders while her partner watches. Just reality, the reality she thought would never catch up to her while others paid her way. I kept the promotion, got another raise, started dating someone who actually values me, bought furniture I actually like, built a home that's entirely mine. She was right about the door, it was there. She just never thought I'd walk through it and not look back. Sometimes when you tell someone to leave if they're not happy, they listen. And sometimes, in doing so, they find they're happier on the other side. She said the house felt empty without me. Good, that was the point.